Well, this is something that I didn't know about, and it's something that a lot of people haven't really been talking too much about. I'm not sure on whether or not that's an indication of the franchise not being as popular as it was a few years ago, or whether or not people are more concerned about more important things in relation to gaming or in relation to the economy or the world in general. But there's actually been rumors about a new Street Fighter film coming out in 2026, and this is something that really caught my attention because it's been a long time since we've gotten like a movie or a film or anything in relation to the Street Fighter series. Don't get me wrong, we've seen television series, whether it be a mini series or whether it be something that kind of just like flew under the radar because I remember about a decade ago we got Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, and that was a mini series that premiered back in 2014. It was PG-13, I believe it had like 13 episodes, and then we had Street Fighter Resurrection, which came out in 2016. It had about 5 episodes, and I believe that came out the same year as Street Fighter Five, and I think that's something that kind of just like flew on the radar because I don't remember too many people talking about that or anything like that. But I think the last like real like movie or film that we got in relation to Street Fighter was The Legend of Chun Li, and that one, based off of what I heard, got like a really poor Metascore. It was really low to a point where I don't even want to say what it actually was, and it's something that like completely like flew under the radar. And I heard that movie was actually worse than the Street Fighter movie from 1994, featuring Claude Van Damme. And as a kid, that particular movie was fun to watch, but at the same time, it was kind of a dumpster fire. But at the same time, it's considered to be iconic in this day and age. Um, I feel like the best Street Fighter movie that we ever got was the animated movie from 1994, Street Fighter 2. That one was really good, but that was like 30 years ago. And when it comes down to movies, we don't really get too many good Street Fighter movies for the most part. But as far as this upcoming film is concerned, I have no idea like what it's going to be an adaptation of. I don't know if it's going to be an adaptation of six, adaptation of Street Fighter Five, of four, of Street Fighter Two, or of Street Fighter Three. I have no idea, or whether or not it's going to be a standalone film that has bits and pieces of story elements from each, preceding Street Fighter game, but that's something that Capcom hasn't necessarily talked too much about. It's not something that's really on social media that people are talking too much about, and it's something that I want to learn more about. Um, but I do know it's going to be distributed by Sony Pictures, and they expect it to be released in spring of 2026, like around March or something of that nature. But but yeah, honestly, I do feel that the Street Fighter series has seen so much or somewhat of a resurgence in terms of popularity. I do feel like a lot of people are going to be interested in seeing another Street Fighter movie, but the only thing is, it's going to be a live action movie based off of what I've read, and I don't know. I think it would be better off as an animated film personally, but I mean, who knows? I mean, I do feel that a live action film could be good if it's done right, and I feel like if the writers and the actors make it believable, it's something that people can really sink their teeth into. But at the moment, there's not enough details that we have right now to determine whether or not it's going to be good or whether it's going to be bad. Um, I have no idea whether or not it's going to be something that's going to hit, the big screen in theaters, or whether or not um, it's going to be something that's going to be like on Netflix or Amazon, or if it's going to be something that people stream opposed to it being to the theaters. But that's something that we're just going to have to wait and learn more about. But yeah, I do feel that like with Street Fighter and the most recent game we got, Street Fighter 6, I mean, the series is still fairly popular, at least in relation to the fighting genre of gaming. And I feel like we should have gotten an actual Street Fighter movie years ago because the best selling Street Fighter game so far in the past, like, 30 something years that we got was Street Fighter 5, which came out back in 16, and I believe it did more than 7 mil in terms of sales. And that's saying a lot considering the fact that prior to that, the Street Fighter 2 series was pretty much the best selling or was among the best-selling video games of the fighting franchise. And you look at like Street Fighter in general, how much the series is worth or how much the franchise is worth. I think it's somewhere between like 12 and 14 billion. And that's something that doesn't surprise me because the franchise has been around for more than 30 years now. And and honestly, I feel like the franchise should have more films, more films that people can look back upon and have nothing but good things to say about. And hopefully, with this upcoming live action film, um, hopefully it's something that doesn't insult the intelligence of viewers. Hopefully it's something that's believable. Hopefully the writing's good. The I guess like the direction of the film makes sense and it's something that's believable. But um but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to learn a little bit more about this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to go out of their way to learn more about this as well in relation to 2026. The question is, what to expect, what's the story going to be about, and I guess what the rating is going to be. I can imagine it being like, PG-13 or rated M. Uh, I mean, I feel like PG-13 makes more sense, but I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see what direction they decide to go with this film.